everybody. Thanks so much for being with us, for taking the time. I hope that we'll spend a really productive and informative just about an hour together this afternoon. So I'm going to turn over to Evie Weinstein, who is the president of NACHIS, the North American Association of Community and Congregational High School, Hebrew High Schools, to formally welcome all of us with a little background to this call.
Well, hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. I am so excited to be leading this conference call and this webinar. And I can see by names on this list that there are many people on the list that are not members of NACHIS. So it's my pleasure to tell you a little bit about NACHIS and the information that you're going to be learning about today. Probably for about the past 4 or 5 years, NACHIS has been in existence. The first few years, we were only opened to community Hebrew high schools. But in the past year or so, we are now welcoming schools that are congregational schools as well. So if any of you are congregational schools, it's my job to really put a big plug in for our organization. Without NACHIS, and I think any of our members can tell you the same thing, we all feel that we would not be able to do the jobs we are doing and doing them as well as we're doing. The camaraderie that we have developed, the friendships, the collaborations that we work on together have made our organization strong. And we learn from each other by ways of a yearly conference every year, and also by our website and by a wonderful listserv that we can pretty much shoot out questions any hour of the day and immediately have an answer from one of our colleagues. Personally, the Buffalo School continues to grow. I and some of us have been awarded substantial grants through different organizations because of our membership in NACHIS. And I would welcome all of you to find out more about NACHIS from either me, Deborah, or any of our membership committee. And we have a conference coming up at the end of June that is always fabulous and will prove to be fabulous again. This conference is in direct result of a survey that was developed by NACHIS to find out where kids are and what we wanted to learn about our teens, and specifically our Jewish teens, what they're doing, how they're feeling, what they're doing out of school, and how they feel about their Jewish identity. So without further ado, we'll go right on to Deborah, and then I'll chime in later again as we go forward. Deborah?
Thanks so much. Thank you. So I'm just going to open with a very quick word of Torah. So we find ourselves right now in the middle of several stories in the Torah reading, in the weekly Torah reading, that talk about Joseph and his family. And I think more than most other narratives, these stories showcase examples of flawed plans and faulty assumptions. So I'll give you a couple of examples. Jacob gave Joseph this coat of many colors and didn't anticipate that his other sons would feel such wrath toward his favorite. Joseph shared his dreams with his brothers, again, not anticipating what they would do in response to learning those dreams. The brothers sold Joseph into slavery, assuming they would never see him again. Reuben and then Jacob assumed Joseph was dead, and I could go on. And it occurs to me that this is a fitting backdrop for today's webinar, because it's so tempting for us to plan and to make assumptions based on what we're sure we know. As one example, directors of our NACHIS schools really do know teenagers, as I'm sure all of you on the webinar today do as well. They know their students, many of them have or had teenagers of their own, and yet we really need to all be honest with ourselves that we don't always have a full and accurate set of information. So as NACHS planned our conference last year, we recognized we would not have any teens with us, and we felt it was necessary for us to hear their voices. And what we did was we went directly to them. We gave them an opportunity to anonymously answer 5 questions on an online survey, and in so doing, we learned a lot more about those students. We anticipated some of their responses, but there were still some surprises for us. So as we together approach the season of Hanukkah, my hope for all of us is that we seek ways to illuminate what we're doing, our own knowledge, by going directly to our sources. And as we do that, that our teams and our programs will be strengthened as a result. So what I'm going to do now is share with you on the screen the copy of Quick Bites that we sent out. So you should all see the way that you can find it on the JESNO website, the Quick Bites with the logo and the date of November 10th. Everybody seeing that? Okay. So I'm going to just go through this really quickly with you, and we'll spend most of our time this afternoon on some questions and conversation. So we posted this survey 1 week. We gave people 1 week to respond to the survey, and we posted it after most of our schools had closed, because that's when we realized that we really needed to try and hear some voices of the teens directly. As I mentioned, we posted a survey on SurveyMonkey, completely anonymous, and we were hoping to hear from 100 students. We were really pleasantly surprised to hear from 219 of them within 1 week. We asked 5 questions. 3 were multiple choice closed-ended, and 2 were open-ended. And we're just quickly going to go through what we learned.